Hello and welcome to the Crypto Sky podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I really do appreciate everyone who frequently tunes into the podcast and gives it a listen. Today we've got another awesome episode. I recently conducted an interview with CryptOrangutang. You can find him on Twitter, Medium, and Steemit at CryptOrangutang. He's also planning on releasing a book later this week, which will be an absolutely awesome tool for anyone who is interested in crypto and especially interested in trading. We really focused on trading during this interview, but we really took a deep dive and he really gave some awesome insights into how to trade and what his personal strategy is during bull runs versus bearish markets. We also got to know CryptOrangutang a little bit better, as he mentioned a couple of things he likes to do outside of crypto, including his plans on owning his own business and his love for movies. I really hope you guys enjoy this episode, and as always, please remember to share this with friends and family via social media, and if you're listening to it on iTunes, subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Without further ado, let's get into the interview. Welcome, CryptOrangutang, to the podcast. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining.
Well, thanks for having me. Hello, everybody.
All right, so I want to start off, just kind of tell us how you got into crypto and then what kind of background you had before that.
All right, so I started trading crypto last year around April. Before that, I was working at a digital agency as a key account / project manager. It's helped explain what is the position really. I worked there for some time, but the conditions were really bad and it kind of sucked all the life out of me during a 1 year stint in there. So I kind of had to drop this out, and I had a small stint with some startups trying to get something of my own. And I got a friend that kind of told me about how he invested in Ethereum at the beginning, and he became the instant millionaire out of this. So it kind of got me intrigued because I had no job at the time, and I had a lot of time, and I've heard some things about crypto before, but never really touched it more into details. So I kind of got myself into it, and from the first day, actually, when I started trading, this is my full-time job now for over a year right now.
Okay.
And it's been a really, really fun ride that, I can say that changed my life from the basically first day that I started. So I'm kind of grateful for everything that this space has given me so far.
Oh yeah, definitely. So you mentioned your full-time crypto. Do you currently day trade, or what's kind of your style there?
It's a little bit mixed. I mean, at the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. Like everybody who started from the beginning, it's kind of I got into the space just before the biggest pump ever in April, May.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of stoked that I made money without knowing exactly what I'm doing. I invested in the worst shitcoins that were there, like Digibyte, every crap that you could find on Poloniex. That was my bag. So I kind of got stoked, made a lot of money during that time, and then when the retracement came, that was the time to learn. And from that moment, I guess for now, I'm like a cycle trader, I would say. I try to buy the bottoms, I try to sell the tops. During this bear market, I kind of just took enough profits before to just chill out during the bear market. In the middle, I started shorting a little bit on BitMEX, but that's not really my thing.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't really like day trading. So I'm into full mode in the times like this. When we get whole market going, then I can find some undervalued stuff and just prepare my positions with time and then just take advantage of them.
All right. So kind of talk about your process of actually learning how to trade and maybe touch on a couple of the obstacles you faced.
Oh, well, the first thing that was most tough for me was definitely getting the entries and exits, especially exits.
Yeah.
because like everybody can buy and ride the profits, but the hardest thing right now, even still, is just not getting greedy and being able to get those profits on the way up and at the top. So I started without having much knowledge about technical analysis, so that came along the way. And it didn't actually help me as much as I thought it would at the beginning, because even now the signal for me to sell is like market sentiment mostly, more than technical analysis. And it's even hard to tell. Like the most experience I got was because I got really wrecked by market a few times, and like every time I lost a lot of money, that was like one of the lessons. I didn't really study any materials. I read only one book on crypto before this, technical analysis by Murphy. And I don't know, it just evolves a long time. I mean, I don't even follow many traders on Twitter because it was pretty the same as it is right now. There are like few guys valuable to the community giving a lot of stuff, but mostly it's still like shields that you just fall into when you're a beginning trader. So mostly just learning on mistakes, nothing besides this. No articles to read, no books, nothing. Just trying a lot of stuff and seeing what works.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, but fortunately right now it's a little bit better for the people that came in, because a lot of people also started to create valuable content. I think right now there's a lot more stuff to learn from than it was even a year ago.
Okay. So touch on the best trade you've ever made, and then touch on the worst trade you've ever made.
Oh God, the best trade would be probably Railblocks. Well, now it's Nano, but before that it was Railblocks. I bought it at, if I'm not mistaken, 10 cents. Yeah, I bought it in 10 cents and rode it up to $10, which was, well, the times 100. And I kind of sold a big portion of my bag there back there, because, well, who doesn't sold on 100 multiplier? Let's be real. But then turns out that it went to $30. So I was kind of like, yeah, missed opportunity, but I guess doesn't matter that much. It was still a good profit. Bridgecon was pretty nice, like times 30, if I'm not mistaken, like a month. So that was also pretty good. I'm more into actually taking more profits and diversifying into other bags. I rarely really ride the coins up to the absolute top with the majority of my position. So I don't count anything that really goes beyond times 10 if the position is like 10%. And the worst one, probably the little stakey coin that's called XGoX. It's still on the market, it's not Cryptopia. I bought it like at 300 satoshis, I think, because I like wanted to get some staking coins and build my portfolio maybe around this, at least a part of it. And right now it's trading around 15 satoshis, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm still stuck on this bag.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to stake the crap out of this so that I can get on break even. If it pumps anywhere up to like 50 satoshis, I'm gonna be like probably even in profit. So that might not be the worst trade I ever did. We'll see along the way how it goes.
Okay. So you mentioned you kind of rely on market sentiment a little bit. Do you focus more on technical analysis or fundamental analysis, or maybe a combination of both?
Well, if I choose a coin, I focus mostly on fundamental analysis,
Okay.
but not on the specifics of the coin itself, because I really believe that short to mid-term trades are more dictated by the hype and the community in the fundamentals itself. I do believe that if a coin is really solid, then yeah, you of course need to know this and you need to rely on this. But more in like a long-term trade, like month or two, when it can really make a difference. Because in the short term, when we have all these coins like Verge, Trex, like Bitcoin Private, even right now, all these coins that are subpar technologically, really pumping because like there's community behind it, there is hype, there are events coming on all the time for them. This is like what should really pump. This is what really pumps the price. So if you are following the fundamentals, it should also be like in a way that if you think that the project will be able to generate hype in the future. So like this is how I choose the coin, but the obviously entry and the exits are based on technical analysis. Sometimes I do small swing trades if I have some free profits and nothing's really looking really great to enter. But yeah, this is like just not my style of playing. I just don't like sitting in front of the computer for 8 hours a day in front of the charts. I prefer to do my work for like 2 weeks, picking all the coins that I like, and then just chill out on them, take profits, and find new stuff along the way.
Okay. So, and this is something I mentioned you talk about. Just touch on the difference between diagonal support and resistance lines versus horizontal support and resistance lines.
Well, this is like two schools. I don't think that any side of this discussion is right or wrong. I actually like. I do feel that horizontal resistances are more reliable, at least to me, the way I'm doing my analysis. When I told that this diagonal breach that was right now is not as important as people think it is, I mostly meant that majority of people I'm seeing on Twitter are saying that we are suddenly going to 10k, 100k right now with Bitcoin. Like we are going straight to the all-time high, which is I highly doubt is happening. It is like a very important resistance that we broke, but above it, even the 9k that we are facing right now, we are still really not out of the woods with Bitcoin. I'm hoping it will consolidate a lot among these levels so that we can get a good out party going on. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm saying that diagonal are bad and people who are using diagonal resistance are doing anything wrong. I mean, whatever works for you is good. I find more success using horizontal lines, and I'm pretty sure there are many other better traders than me using strict diagonal resistances and doing way better than me. So,
okay. So do you prefer to invest or trade in smaller cap coins or larger cap coins?
oh, I'm definitely a low cap guy. I mean, I like trading high caps when my low cap becomes a high cap, basically. I am here to make like a bigger gains than just riding the smaller waves on swing big caps. I don't think I've ever invested in a top 10 cap in like last few months. Every trade that I'm trying to do is like below 50 million market cap, something like this. Because fundamentally, these projects are often better than the stuff that is in top 20 right now on CoinMarketCap. And the only thing that they are lacking right now is that exposure and recognition. And usually, when you are patient enough and you can catch one of those, well, it's a lot more rewarding than catching 5 good pumps on the high caps. At least from my experience. I mean, I caught Enigma when it was at the bottom, and it I don't know what market cap it achieved at the top of the pump, like 200 or 300 million, which became basically like a mid to high cap. And that's the coin that I am willing to hold because I'm in from the beginning and I really like it. But I'm not entering a trade on higher cap because I just don't like the ratio of return that I can get.
Yeah, definitely. So, and kind of touch on that, how smaller caps have a larger risk, but they also have a much larger return percentage.
Well, the risk is mostly associated with the often lack of liquidity. I mean, one of the best coins that I hold right now are on KuCoin, and even the coins that are pumping right now, like times 3, times 4, still have like, I don't know, 7 or 8 volume of Bitcoin. I mean, that's nothing. That's really like one person can, without a doubt, just crash that market. So the main risk is basically just getting not liquidated, but getting crushed by a guy with big bags because of lack of liquidity. But I wouldn't say there are much risks from like fundamental perspective, because most of these projects really do feel and have more steady progress than the stuff there is on the top caps right now. So like if you can manage to find on IDEX, for example, right now, because the volume on IDEX is astonishing the last few days. If you can get a low cap below 10 million, for example, like 4,000 Bitcoin on volume, I mean, that's like, this is the best trade you can get right now in the market, in my opinion. So trying to catch those, and I'm willing to take those risks because the return on the investment is you can catch one good low cap, and it makes up for 10 or 20 bad trades you did during the bear market. I mean, that's how exponential can you get.
Okay.
You literally need to hit one good shot to get even every crap that you did during the bear market.
Okay, so touch on your process of how you like to find these gems and a couple of things you really look for.
All right, so well, outside of like the boring kind of research, when you go for the worst shitcoins on the coin market cap on below 2 million or so market cap or something, I really like going through Twitter. Like there are right now, especially right now, there are a lot of those big profiles that write those topics like "Shill me coins" and stuff. And there is always this one guy that has like 7 followers or something, and he shields a coin that nobody ever heard before in their lives. And it turns out that this coin is like freaking awesome, and he just got into it really early. And when you find that one guy and you find that one hashtag, like, this is everything you need. I mean, you got a fundamentally sound project that nobody talks about yet, which, well, since he's writing to bigger profiles, will probably get some recognition soon. It's usually not on any website like CoinMarketCap, like under the radar. And like the last few gems that I found were actually just given me by people, not like even if I found them, but because, well, I'm kind of having a big following right now. I'm lucky that I have a lot of people that I talk daily that do their own research as well, and like as a thank you to like the stuff I post, they also share their good picks. So I will be honest that during the last 2 or 3 months, the best plays that I got were actually from the people that I am in contact with.
Okay.
But before, I mean that's really comfy, and that's awesome. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah.
And outside of that, I mean, it's really like a long process. I used to go to look at every announcement on Bitcoin Talk, but like the amount of crap there is in there, like the amount of bad coins that come out every day, it really takes a toll on you if you want to find something good. Once you do, it's rewarding, but I much prefer to just have a group of people and like try to find something together than go by myself and go for the coins, because there is just too many coins recently also that came out of ICOs, or mostly from ICOs that are under their ICO price, that you don't even have to find a coin that nobody talked about yet. You just have to find a coin that got forgotten during the bear market right now. So also the researching right now is made a lot easier than it was some time ago.
Okay. So what's one of the exchanges that you really like to focus on to trade gems? I know you mentioned IDEX.
IDEX and KuCoin are right now like top 2 exchanges in my opinion.
Okay.
Like hands down from the, well, KuCoin from the TA perspective, because Binance already pumped a bit, and the coins of Binance are not as sexy as they were 2 weeks ago. But KuCoin, on the other hand, there are even some coins, as if I'm not mistaken, the name is Spotify, I think, that are still even in a downtrend. I mean, with the whole market pumped like 140 billion in market cap, there are still coins on KuCoin that are in a downtrend. So that gives you like an image on what can you expect from KuCoin. And this is also the first place where all the good ICOs came in during the last few months. So I'm not saying that you can go blind in there and find project and it will be good fundamentally, but most of the stuff are the coins that one way or another will end up on Binance or Bittrex or any other big exchange. Those are just basically next big coins that are just in the early stages of their hype. So if you can catch them right now, yeah, I mean, you can just hold them for some time and you will get all the big exchanges pumps anyway. And IDEX is the tricky one because there's too many good coins in there to really like pick.
Yeah.
Most of them, there's like almost every day some stuff that I would like to invest in, but yeah, I don't want to over diversify myself. But from like a gem perspective, how to like the best coins that you can get, I think that IDEX right now is in the lead because many ICOs released their tokens like in the last month, and most of them are like 80-70% below the initial ICO price, and nobody's talking about them because, well, there is like too many new coins and sudden pumps going on, so that it's really just hard to get all of the coins researched. So for those that got a little free time, just jump in there, check it out. And as I said on yesterday's podcast, I mean, you can literally choose randomly five coins on IDEX, and there is a good chance that at least one of them is going to make times 10 in the near future. That's how good projects are listed there right now.
Okay. So what are maybe a couple projects that don't have a lot of hype, but that you're keeping a close eye on that you think might have a big year?
Well, it depends. Like, what do we mean by no hype? Like, no hype, whole Twitter not talking about it yet, or no hype? Like, okay. Well, I have to repeat myself with the ROC token, the Gibraltar exchange, because this really blows my mind how this is not on the mouse of anybody right now on Twitter.
Okay.
Outside of maybe Crypto Maestro. Shout out to this guy. This is a friend, I would say, of Legolas Exchange that will be a gateway for institutional money and regular money, because this will be the exchange that is being opened on the exchange that already exists, because there is a stock exchange, Gibraltar Exchange, that already works, and they are making like a twin of it right now that will be used to trade cryptocurrencies. But also this is the first exchange that is going to be focused on security tokens. And with Polymath, that is like right now, I think the most shielded coin on Twitter outside of Odyssey, OCN.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hype on security tokens, and Gibraltar Exchange really plans to like explore this market and focus on this one as well. So there's a high chance that this is going to be the exchange, like the exchange for literally everybody. Like Bittrex and Binance are the exchanges for us, the altcoin traders mostly.
Yeah.
Gibraltar Exchange is going to be an exchange for everybody, from stocks to altcoins to ICOs, too many different programs. They also got one of the best token utilities. They are really trying hard to make the token worth anything outside of lowering the fees, as most of the other exchanges do. And the team is like 40 years of experience in managing different markets. I mean, I really have hard time finding even one weak spot in there. So this is definitely one of the better midterm plays.
Okay.
And the most of the good stuff is actually the stuff that people thought pumped already a lot on IDEX, which is Tomo chain, which is...
Yeah, I'm in Tomo. I like it a lot, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, people thought that this is already pumped a lot and it's not worth going in. And normally I would agree. I hate going in anything that is like beyond 50% from the bottom, but I'm really conservative about this. But Tomo chain has really a lot of potential, and the same goes with eFood, the same goes with ETH, Devery, the same goes with like Cargo X on KuCoin, which is also a supply coin. Basically, right now, supply chain coins, this is like, for me, this is the best use case blockchain has right now from the new project that come out. And almost every single coin out of this industry and this department is a straight out fire. I mean, Track, Cargo X, ETH, Devery, I mean, each one of these projects is at least times 10 if we manage to keep up the alt season. That's just how useful it is to use blockchain in the supply chain.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so you mentioned kind of over diversifying yourself. Talk about how you structure your portfolio.
Yeah, this is I would say this is one of my weak spots. because I don't have like I've seen Crypto Cobain postings how he does his stuff some time ago, like 50% in very stable like Bitcoin, 25% in mid caps, and 5% in gambling and stuff like this. I'm more into like I'm usually over the limit into the alts. I'm mostly in alts almost all the time. So how I like to structure my portfolio is have a core portfolio of the altcoins that I know that have the best fundamentals that I can get and that I already made a lot of profit from. Those are moonbags, as I say, and that I can hold them even through some bigger retracements. These are like the coins that I want to have from here to a year or 2 years going forward, as I'm that confident in them. And outside of that, every coin that I own is up to like, if I feel it's going down, it's going down. I have no problem in selling it, even if I believe in it very much. I don't really have like a gambling stash of coins that really risky. If I feel that there is a really low cap that is worth the shot, I am willing to invest in it the same amount as I would in a mid cap. For example, in the Haven, on my second favorite exchange trade, Ogre, I feel that this one has so much potential that I had no problem investing in it the same amount as I did, for example, in a simple token on Binance, which is a lot bigger cap. So I wouldn't suggest doing that to all of the people that are listening to me right now, because that's not the smartest approach you can get. But the point is to not be over diversified, at least for me, in like few coins only. I mean, I don't like to have like majority of my portfolio in 2 or 3 coins. I like to have them spread kind of evenly, because I do believe that you get one good pump that even if your whole portfolio goes to crap, that one good pump just makes up for everything. So I like to have a pretty even spread on most of the coins I believe in. And usually I try to keep it around 20 coins, but right now at this market stage, I think I'm at 35, 30 maybe. I would have to like check some of the exchanges. I don't remember which coins I still have. So yeah, there is no very strict rules about it, but I have some rules that I just don't want to cross. I mean, if something goes way like beyond 20% of my whole portfolio, I would cut the big profit of it and put it in something else.
Okay.
Not only because of I don't want to be too reliant on this one, but just because probably the return rate would be a little bit better in some other products.
Okay, definitely. So when you're sitting down and starting to make a trade, just kind of talk about your mindset and what you are thinking about.
Well, first of all, I like to think that what I'm trading right now is the stuff that is at the safe spot. What I mean is that it's either at the bottom or very close to the bottom, and that it is not that I'm entering because of FOMO, or that because I just want to miss the trade. When I enter something, I want to make sure that I will be able to stay in some time. That's why I usually try to invest in coins that are not on public target radar yet. That's why I don't like investing in coins that are shielded on Twitter, even though most of them are really good investments anyway, because of the hype that I talked about. But just it's a strong resistance for me to go into heavily shielded coins. I just it's out of my comfort zone that I'm having a hard time crossing. And yeah, I don't know, when I go into the trade, I usually set some targets for selling, like high targets that in case of a sudden pump, I can get a quick profit out of this. But I usually try to evaluate the stuff that I invested in on the go. Outside of setting the stop loss and those few targets, I like to see how exponential is the growth. If it's really good, then I cancel some of these sell orders and just let it run. If it goes bad, then I just kind of cut it the way it is right now. There's like so many things that can happen to a coin that I don't really believe that you can sit one time, set all trades right now and just let it run further without changing your mind in between. So the main thing to when I'm investing is just to have a good position from the start. And going forward, I never invest in a coin. At least I try to never invest in a coin if I'm not sure that it's going to have a good run and that the fundamentals are not gonna screw me over. So at least I'm confident in this, that it will not crash on me because of the fundamentals. But I still want to see how big the exposure is going to be, so how big the growth can be exponential. And that's when I decide on what to do next with the trade.
Okay. So for someone who is new to trading and wants to start trading more, what would be a couple of things you would tell them to really focus on, whether that be TA or market sentiment? What would you tell them to really watch out for?
Well, the first thing that they should watch out for is actually Twitter. I mean, the biggest obstacle that new traders have, I think, is literally like seeing all these guys with supposedly good track records on Twitter just saying, yeah, this will pump ×2 in a week and this and this and this. And I had it when I started myself, that the trades I took from the beginning were a lot better than the ones that I took from other people. I mean, like, if anybody could start and trade without having any help, any Twitter and any other people influencing them, they would create their own strategy a lot faster than they would by going to take advice from their favorite traders.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's why also doing research is very important. Not only because you know what the project is about, but because it gives you confidence in the coin. When you're investing in a coin because your favorite trader told you to, there is a very good chance that when it doesn't pump soon, you're gonna have this urge to sell it because, well, first of all, you don't really know what you invested in, and you're basing only on somebody else.
Yep.
And that puts you in a losing position anyway. And secondly, most of the time when you leave that position, well, it starts pumping because that's the rule of crypto. So if people could get the basics, like very basic TA, which can be done in one day, literally, just go freaking watch CryptoCred's channel or Carpenotron's channel and watch those videos. Really, you can spend 1 or 2 days and you can be more knowledgeable in technical analysis than 90% of crypto right now. I can tell you that with full confidence. And starting from that, you don't really need any tricks on fundamental analysis, because what matters is your gut feeling that you will get while doing it along the way. Just make sure that nothing looks shady. Make sure that you should start with like mid caps at least. Don't go into total shitcoins at the beginning, because that's gonna wreck you. But just try trading on your own. Don't get any other signals coming to your head from other people. I mean, you will maybe miss out on many pumps and many opportunities that you will not see because, well, one person can only do as much research as it can. But this whole trading experience that you will get will be a lot more valuable than any of those pumps that you could have caught if you would be using social media at the same time. I mean, really, that's the point. You learn by making a lot of mistakes, and you cannot make any more mistakes if you are just training by your own at the beginning. So just go for it and try to literally believe in your own trades at the beginning, because even if it doesn't work, well, that's also a signal for you to maybe change something. But to try sticking with your strategy. Let's not focus on other trades just because everybody got a completely different way of trading, and that's not gonna make you grow as a trader or investor or however you want to play.
Okay. So just kind of talk about the current market sentiment. Do you think we've started alt season, or where do you stand on that?
Oh, well, first of all, I'm definitely not on the 100K Bitcoin boat, that's for sure. I would gladly take it if you would, but I'm gonna stick with it that we are not going to all-time high right now. I would say that altcoins are looking really good, but I also feel that I don't really believe that there is a possibility of a altcoin season like we had in May and April last year, because first of all, Bitcoin price is a lot bigger right now, and most of the people, like the common money, the dump money that is pumping the market up to the highs, are the people who mostly look at the dollar price. Let's make it clear right now. And like market, even if some of the coins did like 80% and 100%, is already at almost 400 billion. And if we would pump the way we did in April and May, we would see trillions right now, at least with the new amount of new coins that we get daily. That according to Twitter, every one of these coins is supposed to be in top 10, and every one of them is going to make times 50. So yeah, we're gonna see trillions pretty fast. I am bullish on still on having further runs, because like this, what we had right now is like a small sell-off from people taking the first investments. But when you look at the weekly charts, it's all still looking very healthy. And as we know, in the altcoin bull market, being overbought is a myth. There is not such a thing like being overbought. So I am definitely, at least from what my portfolio stands on, I am bullish on the next few weeks at least to continue the pumps on altcoins.
Okay.
I kind of think that Bitcoin is not going to crash this, because I'm kind of seeing more consolidation here than any rapid moves. Although I am also bullish on passing the 9K, and well, I'm not giving any specific targets outside of that, but we definitely are not dipping right now, in my opinion.
Okay.
But even if it happens, it's still gonna be a little bit choppy. So yeah, my main focus would be on alts, and I wouldn't say that we taking profits on the way up, even from this point right now, is a bad idea, because even in January, people were like, yeah, this is the first sell-off, I mean, wait for the real season, you will blow your mind. And well, 1 month later, everybody is minus 50% on their backs. So let's keep it real, and when you have some profits, just freaking take it, because there is a high chance that the alt market that was last year was probably the most bullish and ridiculous stuff you could have seen. So if you're betting on this, good luck to you. I would rather stay a little bit more sober and take profits whenever I can from the pumps that we have right now. And they are not bad either. So if you play it right, you will still make a huge ton of money.
Okay. So you mentioned taking profits. Kind of touch on how you trade differently when we're in a bull market versus when we're in a bearish market.
Well, my general strategy is that I take small amounts of profits on every like more significant resistance before I'm at least trying to do it hard to keep up with all the coins that I have.
Okay.
But after every big pump, I try to take like, I don't know, 10, 15%, depends on the coin, and just stack up like free Bitcoin on the side all the time, which at a good moment, I'm like once every few months I'm cashing out. And yeah, like during the bull market, just take some profits, invest. If you see something good, invest in it. If not, let it ride. Just, during bull market, just sit back and you watch, nothing else basically. But during the bear market, well, I'm here for a year, so I cannot speak volumes about like what do I do in bear market, because I've seen like only 1.5 maybe right now, if you count the alt retracement last summer. But during this, as I said, I took a lot of profits like in cash before, so that I wasn't afraid of anything that was happening with the market. And the positions that I had were either like those my long-term positions that I took some profits off anyway, and they didn't dip as strong as people thought they would. There wasn't full retracements on many of them. VeChain, for example, was like my biggest bag actually at one moment, and during the bear market it started to pump outside of going down. So that's why I like to keep some of those best coins, like even in a bear market, because you never know how it's going to react. There's always some coins that go up even in the worst conditions ever. And the rest of the coins that I had, those were either smaller bags from the position that I had in the beginning, and well, not much profit taking outside of this, where I took before. I mean, the stuff that I did on shorting Bitcoin, there is nothing to brag about, obviously. So I don't count this one. So it's more like make money in the bull market, play someone in the bear market, and when the bull market comes again, just make sure that you're gonna accumulate enough in the end of bear market to make a killing again, and you go like swing from here to here, and you're good.
Okay, definitely. So I read your article on Medium, the crypto newbie questions. Kind of talk a little bit about that and what inspired you to write it.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, because that's actually quite a bigger picture. Because when I got into this space, and since I didn't have a job and it looked like a really good opportunity, I just didn't want to make simple money on this and just leave this space away. But if I have a chance, I wanted to maybe create something like the CryptOrangutang, the worst nickname in whole crypto. Like, yeah, the origin of this is also stupid as hell. But I wanted to create like a profile that I could use somewhere later. I mean, I'm having good profits out of this right now because I've met a lot of really cool people that I trade with every day, and that help me a lot daily. And I'm also planning to open a YouTube channel with reviews that will also, thanks to the community I have right now, will give me a good start for this. I'm also I'm also finishing right now the book, which is like this article on Medium times 10 is just like everything I wrote with my friend who's also a crypto investor. We wrote an ultimate guidebook to like whole crypto from like technology point of view for like total newbies. Like if you didn't know crypto at all, you just grab this book, you read all of it, and you're basically good to go. Like you know every single technological term that you need to know, and you got everything that I know from like investment point of view, backed by, well, obviously not only me, because that wouldn't be enough, but like experience of all the other traders that I trade with. I think we did a pretty good job to catch up the spirit of the whole sphere. So that I honestly hope that because the book is gonna be worth like 40 times less than a monthly fee of a paid group. So I'm kind of hoping that this one book, this one payment would teach people a lot more than any of the paid group could teach them in like 2 months. So I'm kind of encouraging to check that out. It's gonna be probably by the end of this month. And by the Medium article, I mean, it is kind of like when I was trying to build a community, you always want to give something back to it. And since a lot of people that I talk to daily had basically the same 5 questions all the time, which is when to buy, when to sell, what's your thoughts on, and like all these classic crypto questions.
Yeah.
So I kind of wrote it in my back of my mind that I would just send this article to every person that ever asked me this again.
Okay.
But well, it doesn't work because I get these questions anyway, and everybody does. So but I got a lot of good warm words from people that read it and supposedly helped them a lot. So I'm happy that at least some way I could make a better impact on the space than just shit posting all the time. So that's a reward good enough to make stuff like this. As I'm saying this, the rewards will come after, and I'm already seeing a lot of good stuff coming from the being engaged in the community. So
okay. So do you enjoy writing? Is that your favorite form of content?
I think I would actually prefer to make those videos because I kind of have a background also in movie editing and stuff. And as you can all probably hear, English is not my native language, and getting like transformed into thinking to English and writing in English is pretty tough, especially when writing this book. I mean, when I read the stuff that I write, I mean, this is like primary school kind of English. I'm terrified how terrible it is. I feel sorry from all the editors that we have to take care of this. But I like writing, but I think that the stuff that will come out will be a lot better because let's be honest, people don't like read large formats anyway. I made a lot of those reviews of Ncash and all the other altcoins, and people are just well too lazy to read even those few paragraphs. So I think even the 5-minute video is a much more again encouraging format to get to know the coin than getting that Medium article, which takes me a lot more time as well.
Okay. So what are a couple other things you enjoy outside of crypto?
Oh, well, I'm a huge movie fan. Yeah, I mean, in a free time, I really try to edit some stuff, and I'm I'm up to date with everything that comes out, like movie wise. I'm a freak when it comes to this. Well, I do play a lot of basketball, even though the Mother Nature didn't give me a lot of opportunities to be a good basketball player. I would say it this way.
Okay.
Yeah, and right now I'm kind of, because that was the main goal even when I came to crypto. I kind of always wanted to have a startup of my own, and like when I was playing with trying to open up something before, it wasn't really successful. But as I will have more time right now, when I finish this book, and the market is going to be well pretty chill right now, just sitting back and watching it grow. I think I will finally maybe get back to thinking about some ideas how to get cash out those profits into something more stable than just crypto. So yeah, that's probably gonna be my main side work for the upcoming months.
Okay. So where do you want to be in 5 to 10 years? You know, you just mentioned you maybe want to start a business or be out of crypto. Just kind of touch on that.
Well, definitely not out of crypto because
Okay.
well, this is still very early stages of the space,
Yeah.
and like the people who get into it right now and are making some positive impact, I think. Well, it might sound pretty ridiculous, but people right now hiding behind those monkey avatars, birds avatars, dog avatars, and stuff are gonna be probably real influencers and like people who can have their word like into the space in like those few years. So definitely talked about like being able to be a bigger part of the community with like the work that I'm doing right now. Probably still gonna trade some shit coins, but definitely it's not gonna be my main work because yeah, how many years can you trade shit coins? I mean, let's be real here. And yeah, it also well, 5 years in crypto is a long time. I mean, nobody can predict what's going to happen with this space in 5 years. So let's keep it like month by month, and let's see where it leads us. But outside of this, yeah, I mean, definitely the main goal would be to definitely have something of my own. Even if not the most profitable business ever, it's just good to have something that you can do daily, like your own thing, like stuff that you created from the beginning that's only yours, and like you're responsible for the success or failure of it. So that's something that I would definitely focus on. And if it happens, well, cool. If not, then there's still a lot of opportunities to explore in the 5 to 10 years. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. All right, man. That's all the questions I have lined up for you. So I'll let you kind of touch on your closing thoughts and wrap things up.
For all the like people right now that are having the first alt season of their lives, uh, you already probably survived like the second worst crash ever in crypto. So that gives you more experience than you can like ever hope for. So we are already good. But yeah, if you are riding these waves right now, really be aware of that. Majority of the space is still people that just like shilling for money and not being really honest with their thoughts. So always depend on yourself mostly. Take those freaking profits. Don't be greedy because most of you will be greedy. I also will be greedy as hell. I'm pretty sure of that. But whenever you can, like act against yourself and to take some of that money and just continue to soak up the space because yeah, that's a great opportunity in the upcoming years. Here we are still very early right now in here, so this is only the beginning. And if you can learn right now, this is gonna be a huge deal for you in a few years from now, even if you're not starting with a big capital. So good to have you all here, and hopefully we will all get some good bucks going on the following weeks, and hopefully we will not die and Bitcoin will not shit on us pretty heavily as few bears left on the market forecast. Thanks very much for inviting me. It was a blast. Hopefully see a lot of my dudes also on this podcast. I had a really good time, and good luck to you trading as well.
That's all for the interview, guys. I really think this was an absolutely wonderful episode, and I'm glad Crypto Orangutan was able to come on to the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it and really take away something from this interview. As always, thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next week.